Miwam. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Winter Solstice Prayer Hour. Woo woo! Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Please know that we have some medicine for you all here, and we're going to do our best tonight to keep the energy moving. The energy already feels really great in the room, and we can feel your energy. We have really wonderful presenters tonight. So again, we want to keep our energy moving as we're really grateful for all our presenters' time and their willingness to help us put these prayers into the universe. If you were here with us in June, or if you're new to the group, we conduct our hour in rounds. As we are not linear people, the word hour is a loose term to represent the length that we have scheduled for our time together tonight. But we know that you guys will stick around if we go past that linear hour. Our first round is for our ancestors and those leaders who have come before us. I'd like to acknowledge the Kumiyai Warriors who in 1775 resisted Spanish intrusion by protecting their families and homelands by revolting against the Mission San Diego de Alcala. This and several other revolts are said to possibly be the reason why the Spanish were not able to be as formidable a presence for the Kumiyai in the beginning of the intrusion. Of course it was. I'd also like to acknowledge one of my personal influences from the generation before me, who I'll speak more about throughout the program. His name is John Trudell. He's a Native American activist and poet. In a 2014 interview, a year before his passing, the interviewer shared that he was struggling personally. And Mr. Trudell said he was also struggling. The interviewer then asked Mr. Trudell what he struggles with, to which he answered, "To do more good than bad while I'm here, right? Or at least to keep it even. But not to damage the world by my presence." In the waiting room, you may have seen a quote from Mr. Trudell that said, "I'm just a human being trying to make it in a world that is very rapidly losing its understanding of being human." Can I have the slide with our presenters? The presenters here tonight are upholding that vision for not damaging the world and are in fact helping people by investing in their humanity. As such, we want to acknowledge their leadership and pray that they and others like them will stay well and know that there are people who appreciate and welcome their dance. That's what we call the work that we're doing. And my good friend Blue Eagle reminded me that there were years when we used to dance for days, and those dances were our prayers. And so we consider the work that we're doing for our young people and for our communities, we consider that work our dance. And so I'm really happy to dance with these people that we have tonight, including my friend and my cousin. He's here tonight to give us opening prayer and tell us a little bit about his work tonight. And I'm going to let him introduce himself. So I want to thank you for being here. And go ahead and introduce yourself, Mr. Robert.
All right.
Oh, you can use that, I think.
Mio. My name is Robert Aguilar, and I'm super, super grateful to be here, and I feel honored and I feel blessed to be able to be here and be a part of this prayer group. And my mother is Liseño from Rincon Reservation, and her mother was from La Jolla Reservation, and her father was from Rincon Reservation. He's a Howard Cobb, and my father's from Palmer Reservation, and his father is from Mesa Grande Reservation, Leland Aguilar, and my grandmother is Anita Maganti, and she's a Pachito, and I come from the Pachito clan of Palma, and I'm honored to be here, and so one of the things that I do is I'm a part of Natives in Recovery, and at Natives in Recovery we are Native men who are bettering our lives by staying clean and sober, and we stay clean and sober because we're on a spiritual path. We do ceremonies, we do sweat lodge, and we do recovery as far as Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, and Wildbriety. We work our steps, and we're seeking to grow in our spirituality. I would just like to offer up a prayer in a good way, and I'm going to offer up a prayer. And in this prayer, it means a lot to me. It's actually the Wee version of the Serenity Prayer in Liseño. And I'll offer up a prayer, and then I'll finish with the Serenity Prayer. Nishun Lord. Thank you, Creator, for blessing us with this opportunity to be here, Creator, with these people right here. Creator, we're so grateful to have this to have our health today, Creator. Creator, we want to ask for forgiveness, Creator, for any of our wrongs, Creator, the judgment and the gossip we may have participated in, Creator. Forgive us for that. Creator, we want to pray for those ones that we judge and the ones that we gossip towards, Creator. Creator, we want to lift up all the world right now in this COVID right now, Creator. Lift them up, lift our health up. Creator, we want to lift up those that are suffering from mental health and addiction, Creator. Creator, we want to offer up a prayer, Creator, to those that are suffering from this COVID sickness, Creator. Keep them in your prayers. Keep your hand over them. Creator, we just want to ask that you just keep us all in your prayer through this next hour. Creator, I trust and believe you're going to hear this prayer and you're going to answer prayer. Cham na wayo, cham yunwish. Chamik, Yawacham, Ovi, Kishanayam, Hicham, Gayab, Guamiwam. Chamcha, Pomshun, Momkatom, Murihacham, Hicham. Belohachwan, Yahevelach, Ayalayam, Lovik. He, Wanik. Poeco. Oh.
Wow. Thank you so much. Wow. I think also, Mr. Robert, is there, if somebody wants to contact you about the work that you do, is there an email or a phone number that they can contact you at that Miss Kelly can put in the chat?
I will get it. I'll put it in the chat for them so that we can. It'll be there for anyone who wants to contact and be a part of Natives in Recovery or have any kind of questions.
Awesome, thank you. I also feel like in my nervousness, I forgot to introduce myself. No tung Amy Admire Yaka, no washnai, no payom kawish, no kwam Joseph Morales, Della Kolb, and Marcella Mason. My name is Amy Admire. I am from Rincon, and my grandparents are Joseph Morales, Della Kolb, and Marcella Mason. Again, tonight's prayer hour is focused on leadership. And so, again, we want to have Mr. Robert here to talk about the leadership work that he's doing with Natives in Recovery. And I just am really grateful for Robert. He's been able to help members of my own family, for which I'm really grateful, and other members in our community. And a lot of the work that people do that we brought here tonight to help us pray in these good ways, they do a lot of this work, volunteer. And even if it is their job, we're grateful that it is their calling. And so we're really, really blessed to have these people with us tonight. So we are going to start with our first presenter, our first round tonight. So Jamie and Blue work with our young people. They are bird singers from Viejas and Sequan, and I'm sure that in their tape piece, they are going to introduce themselves, so we are going to roll that for you.
Hello, everybody. Jamie Winichihi Sequan Kopai. I want to give thanks to Amy for the invite. I'm really appreciate being here to share my thoughts, to share our prayers for leadership. And I'm very humbled to be here today, my brother Blue, and to share this night with you.
My name's Blue Eagle, and once again we're here for the Winter Solstice prayer. This time we're going to pray for our leadership. And in doing that, we want to pray for our leaders, our official lead, our appointed official leaders, and our community leaders and our young leaders. We want to pray. We want to ask Maha to come down. We want to ask that blessings over their life. We want to ask them to be able to lead in a good way. We want to ask them to be able to hear with open ears and open heart. We want to ask them to be receiving, and we want to ask them to create a space and time for the people, to hear the people, the needs of the people. Because as grassroots leaders and community members, and we do a lot of outreach program, and we need leadership's help to help back us up. And this prayer hour is we're asking for prayers for them for that, so they can be able to receive these prayers, be able to receive them in a good way. And so we're asking Maha to blessings over their life, that their life may be full of good things, and they may be able to learn from other people and be able to process the things that they need to process, and follow up and follow through with the things that they say. Today we're dealing with a lot of different challenges. COVID, to mention one of them. We want to ask, good health and happiness over their lives. We want to ask them to, start to remember what it is to be Tipai, to be Indian, to be a human, to remember that, we can't lose our humanity. We always must be for the people, be for our families, be for taking care of ourselves, putting ourselves and our families in our first, putting our people first. And when we do that, we'll be able to receive these spiritual blessings. So.
Yeah, so I'd like to add that, to get back to our very beginnings, I'd like to share a story about the man that was sent from his village to ask the Creator for knowledge. And so he went to Hasit, the ocean, and he asked Maha for this knowledge, and Maha instructed him to go back home to his people and build him a large home, and that he was going to come in 3 days. So he went back to the village, and they built a Wakwatai, this big home. And in 3 days, the Creator came in form of a snake. The snake was very long in size, and it had these spots that were on it, and each spot was a repository for knowledge. So when the snake got to this village, the people didn't know what to do. It started to crawl inside this home. And so they lit the snake on fire. When this happened, when this took place, the snake unraveled and it exploded into the skies above the people. And some of the people swallowed the flesh. And that flesh is how the language came to our people and our songs, and the ability to philosophize, to know what plants to use for medicinal use, tool use, diet use. But most importantly, this flesh is in all of us. We're all created equal. And the Creator instructed the people there. See, it wasn't just given to the people of that village, but the knowledge landed all throughout the area. And the Creator instructed people to share this knowledge, and that we're all equal. We're all equal to everything, the plant use and the plants and the animals and the human life, and that we have these relationships as equals with each other. I think it's important that our leadership and people in the community too that recognize that, a lot of times nowadays we judge each other on how different we look, and we shouldn't, because we all have that DNA in us. We all have part of that Creator, and we all have the ability to create things around us. When your moms or your wives are home cooking, they are creating things. We're out there having these programs and defining our space with these youth empowerment programs, or this program we're doing tonight, this Winter Solstice program. We are creating things. We are creating things for our people to communicate and build a better, more understanding community for all of us, and through prayer. And indeed, the universe was created through the tobacco plant. And as you can see today, we lit this patay, the sage, to create an environment around us of understanding, so we can communicate through this way to the people in our community. So I just want to share that with everybody, why it's important, because we're all leaders. We're all leaders, and we all have the ability to lead. So we need to learn how to empower each other. We need to learn how to light our switch, you may say, because you can come to a mountaintop, and you get to the top, and you can peer over, and you can see a bright light down there in the valley. And as you get closer, you can realize that it's just a dimly lit porch light and barely lit the yard up. Or you can come to that mountain, you can see this big old glow, right? And as you come to the top, you peer over, you see thousands of lights down there lit up. Each one of those lights should represent our people. When you empower each other, when you're empowering your community, we too can shine bright, bold, and beautiful like the universe above us. And we should all know that we all have that universe right here between our ears. And we all should wake up knowing that when we walk out that front door, we have the power to lead and to make things more better for our community. Yeah, Khan.
Yeah, like Brother Jimmy was saying, let's be there for each other. Let's support one another. Let's show up for each other. Let's light each other's fires and, encourage each other to keep going with the work that everybody's doing. And when we fall, let's pick each other up and, encourage each other to keep going on. This is the only way that we're going to survive as a people. And this is the only way that we're going to thrive. We don't just want to barely get by. We want to thrive as a nation. We don't want our nation to grow, and we want to grow in a good way. So sending prayers out to not only the leadership, but to all the people at this time, in this COVID era, and just wishing Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everyone out there. So, you have anything else you want to add?
Just let it be reciprocal. We want to support leadership. We know the importance of having our leaders in place. And yeah, we do look upon them, but also for leadership to know that, in the community, to know that apply yourself, learn these things and take them to leadership, become part of it. Sometimes it's you that has to take that step forward and create that pathway. It's that form of communication. So once we learn to be reciprocal and share this knowledge, you'll see things change in our community. So yeah, Khan.
And we want to thank the leaders that are out there, are making a difference, are contributing, are listening, are still involved with the grassroots and supporting little projects here and there in community work. We want to say Shahaya Hun to the leaders that are out there doing it. And let's not forget where we come from. Let's build together, let's construct, and let's sit at that table of opportunity, discuss, construct, and build with each other. So, yeah, Khan.
Awesome. Thank you, Jamie and Blue Eagle. Our next little show that we got for you is another video that's been submitted. This video is coming from our UC San Diego student leaders. and they are student leaders who collectively represent the Native and Indigenous student community at UC San Diego. While they simultaneously balance life as a student and a leader, they advocate for better experiences of all Native students and are dedicated to making an inclusive space where every student's voice is heard. So let's go ahead and take a look at their video right now.
Miriam Cho'anam. My name is Anthony Hurtado. I'm a part of the Bayonkawicham and Thana Atham. I'm a co-chair for the Native American Student Alliance at UC San Diego. And one thing that I wanted to say about being a student leader is the challenge of, while being just a student in general and a leader, is the ability to maintain your identity as a Native and Indigenous person. Because when you're going through school just being a regular student, while also at the same time being a leader and advocating for Native students in general, you kind of lose sight of who you are as an Indigenous person and the fact that you come from people of much resilience and strength and diversity. And losing sight of that can be very detrimental to not only your mental health, but also your ability to succeed. So it's very important not to forget where you come from and who you are, because that instills empowerment and the confidence to navigate the school system. So that was one thing I want to say. Noshun Lovik, thank you.
Ha Marawika na Naniatsa Victoria na se namana na namana sa nonai. Hi, I'm Victoria. I'm Comanche, and I'm the NASA Community Retention Coordinator. And I definitely agree with what Anthony is saying as far as identity. I'm still a little new to the community, and I had just become a leader, so I'm very perspective and excited to work with everyone, and everyone has been so accepting, and I definitely feel the most accepted in this community, especially because it's such a small and tight-knit community. It's very hard to find natives around, so finding this community here was definitely the best thing that could probably happen to me here. So yeah, my prayer is to wish everyone strength and boldness, including myself, because since I'm new, I do need some boldness and some more strength. But yes, thank you.
Yat e she Ivan Rajni Kia Ani Nishle. Hi, my name is Ivan Rajan, and I'm a third-year PhD student here at UCSD in the bioengineering department. And similar to Victoria and Anthony, I had this difficulty with really understanding myself in the context of this university system. And it's been an honor and a privilege to learn about myself and to learn from so many Indigenous people in the community of how to embrace my indigeneity in this space. And I've learned how to understand emotions and complex feelings like anxiety and fear and self-doubt. And I just pray that you find bravery and laughter and joy through the anxiety and through the uncertainty and through these complicated tasks that you'll be faced with when you are a student and when you are a leader. Thank you. Yeah.
Alka Penyamad, Winesh Chui Juan Renoso, Mat Ipai Kumiyai, Kopai San Pasqual. Hello everyone, my name is Juan Renoso. I am Ipai Kumiyai from the San Pasqual Band of Kumiyai Indians. And I wanted to share some words with our leaders today. Being a leader on campus, I am the co-chair of American Indian Graduate Student Association, also known as AIGSA. And it reminds me of what it means to be a leader. Being a leader in any capacity means facilitating and creating a space and honoring a space for our collective voices to be heard. Leaders cannot do this simply by listening or by talking all the time. Leaders take into account the vast knowledge and collective strength of community. I pray that Creator, Mayaha, guide you with open hearts, ears, and discernment. I ask that you be provided with wisdom and courage, and that your actions are free of pride and ego. I ask Mayaha to bless your decisions to better support our collective futures. Today you've heard from the leaders of organizations at UC San Diego, and as the student leaders, as Native leaders at UC San Diego, we appreciate you for your collective wisdom, your ears, your voices. Thank you. Ayahan.
All right, thank you, student leaders at UCSD. super appreciate you supporting us and sharing your experiences with us, Mr. Anthony, Miss Victoria, Mr. Ivan, and Mr. Juan. And I want to support and piggyback on what Mr. Juan said about our leadership, leading with discernment and free of pride and ego. And I know that can be really hard to do, especially when, you know, sometimes leaders are put on a pedestal, and that can inflate our egos. We say, you het the nick, you het the nick. Makes our heads big. And that's something that we have to check, you know, like we ask, you know, non-Indian people or people with privilege to check their privilege. So sometimes as leaders, we have to check our egos, and our pride. So thank you, student leaders, for reminding us that. I also want to right now give a shout out to some other youth leaders that come from the urban area, some of whom are indigenous. And I think we have a slide that we're going to throw up, or that might have been already. Okay. So these are some other orgs that we introduce our Native youth to, and we've been working with and collaborating with down in the San Diego area. There's a group of young people in the Sunrise Movement. Our friend Riley, we connected with him this year and did a Earth Day presentation with them. Sunrise Movement is a group that's trying to stop climate change and create millions of good jobs in the process. They're building a loud, energetic, and active base of young people to make climate change an urgent priority across America, and ending the corrupting influence of fossil fuel executives on politics, and elect leaders who stand up for the health and well-being of all people, which we are certainly down for. So we appreciate working with them. Climate Action Change, our friend Malika works there. We've done some panels with her, and we appreciate her. Youth Will is another great organization that we have worked with. They built a student or young people's Bill of Rights for the city of San Diego. And the city of San Diego listened to them. And we are taking a page out of their playbook and creating a Bill of Rights for our students in our school district. And trying to get our school district to listen to our students and recognize that our children have rights, not just the Native American and Indigenous population, but all the populations. So we appreciate Youth Will for helping us recognize that we have rights and that we deserve to also be heard. So if you're an urban person, check out these groups. Even if you're a rural person, check out these groups. So thank you guys, and we hope you're on the line. Next, we are going to go to Mr. Bobby Wallace.
Hey, am I on right now, you guys? Howga? My name's Bobby Wallace. I'm from the Barona Band and Barona Band of Mission Indians, which is in the foothills. Just above Lakeside. You know, these tough times that we're all going through is really taking a toll on some of the youth and some of the elders. And, you know, I wanted to talk about that within a story, you know, with the COVID and all these things that are just going on. And it really is taking lives. I know some good friends that, you know, that are really sick right now, you know. I want to talk about activism too right now before I get into this story. And activism, it takes a lot of your time. It takes your own funds, because a lot of times when you do these things, you just have to do them on your own. And you know, it takes time away from your family. I've been fortunate enough to go to San Carlos, Bailas a few times and go out there and meet the people. and take stuff out there to a place where these people were just thrown into a bad place. And as we know now, that the government wants to go in there and start digging, there's San Carlos. And about 25 years ago, I started working on this project. It was the Upper San Diego River Park project, and the idea was going from the dam of the El Capitan Reservoir all the way down to the ocean. And it's primarily to protect the river, because the San Diego River is probably one of the most polluted rivers in this part of the territory. Which brings us today. Now we have people wanting to dig up El Monte Valley, turn it into sand mining when we know there's valley fever in there. There's sacred sites, and these are the things we fight for. These are the things. Finita Ranch too. Finita Ranch is another one. We have to push through these things and fight to keep our ancestors intact, and not disturb the ground. And same with the wall too. I mean, they want to dig, a big hole for farms, and it's going right through cremation sites. And I've been very fortunate enough to be out there doing prayers out there at the wall, and it's amazing to see what the government can do. Just like at Standing Rock, we went there 5 times. We had a massive group of people. We got to see many people in prayer, and then we got to see the ugliness of what the government can do to everybody. And they can shoot you with rubber bullets, and they can spray stuff at you, and they can make you breathe in chemicals, and they can hurt you real bad. One of my friends, Sue, got her eye damaged by a canister. And these are the things that we're facing today, and we got to keep fighting. We can't lose ground no matter what we're going through here. We just got to get our mind right. We have to understand that the Creator is with us, and that's what this little story is about. And this is a true story. About 1.5 years ago, I got a call from one of my Mojave brothers, and he said, "Bobby, hey, can you guys come out and stand with us at the No Regatta? Because what they do is they leave nothing but trash on the Colorado River." And I said, "Sure, bro, I'll be there." Well, at this time, our gathering was going on that week. So I ended up doing my part, cutting all the willow, ran down, came back, dropped the willow off. We got enough willow for all the ramadas. And then myself, Chief Kindness, Aunt Sylvia from up there in SY, and Lindsay, we went out there. And we got out there this night before we were supposed to go and do our activism. So we got out there, and they had a forum, and they had, obviously plants trying to give bad ideas, like we can pop their tires, we can stand in front of them, we can actually not let them get in the water. And if you guys had ever been to the regatta is so huge, and all these people, they jump in their inner tubes, they go down the Colorado River, they're smoking, drinking. When the river starts going low, all this crap's on the side of the banks of the river, and it's a terrible thing. So we get through that night, and in the morning we get there at sunup. And the day before when we got there, it was like 112 degrees. So We were with our Mojave brothers and sisters. We lit sage on all four corners of the street, and that's right by the Davis camp. And, all of us brought our spiritual armor, and we were all there because we had a belief system. We had a belief that there's something bigger than ourselves. Water is life. I mean, we believe in something that others don't. And as we sat there on the bridge, they were yelling at us, squirting water on us, cussing at us. Trash was floating all down. We left and started walking up, and we could feel it start getting warm. And this is about 12 noon. And it was just so uncanny that while we were there on all four corners of the streets, that it was nice and cool. It wasn't 112 degrees. We were getting the air from the river, and it was just uncanny. We got up to the top. Then my brother Larry started singing the victory song on the side, and everybody was dressed in their ribbon shirts and their spiritual armor, and all of a sudden it just got really, really hot. And, you could just feel the energy in the air that like something was going to happen. And for you people that are feeling distressed, know that there is a higher power. There is a creator. There are things out there that we believe in that others don't. It's like we go and do these things and we ask for no money. We don't do this for personal gain. We're not here to rip anybody off. We're there for one purpose and one purpose only, is to be with our brothers and sisters. I could have been over there at the gathering, at the horseshoe tournament, watching people trying to sing and dance and win all that money. But no, we chose to go out there and be with our brothers and sisters. So it's 12 o'clock. It got hot. We all started sweating. We ended up going and eating with my sister Diane and my brother Larry and their family, and their name's Uch, which Uch is their clan name. It's the Mojave clan name, and it's the wind, it's the whirlwinds, it's the clouds, it's the rain, and it's the lightning, and it's the storm. And we were there eating and we were talking, and we were all glad to see one another. And we had to go because somebody had forgot to bring a change of clothes. So we started on our way back. We started talking about all the wonderful things that we've seen in our travels, kind of just creator stuff. And it started getting dark when we were talking about that, and we got home. And it just so happened that the Oach came in, and it rolled right down the Colorado River. Lightning, thunder, wind, rain, blew out windows. Lightning struck the Colorado River bell. All these people were freaking out, and I can tell you, anybody that was on the water were flying out of their tubes getting on shore because that storm was crazy. And all these people now were kind of displaced. There was no power. So they ended up having to go to the Avi, which of course is the Mojave hotel and casino. And it's just the Oach came in and kind of shared a little lesson to the people that were dirtying the Colorado River. And I want you guys to understand, I was blessed to be able to go out there and to help my friends and to be with them. Some people might say, yeah, it's just by chance, but I don't think so. I think it happened. I was talking to my Mojave friends today. Everybody knows in Bullhead. Everybody knows the Mojave territory that this happened. And I want you guys to know that you have a loving creator that's with you all the time, that knows everything about you, because it's the creator, the creator for each and every one of us. And every time we talk about that story, it just, you get a stronger feeling. I do when I talk to my brother Larry Hammond, and we know what happened, we know what we saw, and we know that there is no more regatta. There is no fight to stop those people from dirtying Mother Earth. Because if you get in the shower, you let that water run over your head, it's all alive. It goes in your ears, it goes in your eyes, it goes on your face, it goes everywhere in your body. And that's what we believe as Native people. Everything's alive. The rocks, the trees, we all have the gifts from Mother Earth. And I just want to say thank you for letting me be here. Some of you might think, oh yeah, well, great story, but I don't believe it. Well, Google it. Talk to the Mojave people. You'll understand. I want to say too that, I care for each and every one of you. I know some people are having really hard times right now. I hope this story of what the Creator did that day gives you a better feeling about yourself and what's going on right now. So much love and respect to all of you guys, every single one of you. We're all just people. We're here to do stuff. And I just want to say thank you again, you guys. Miss Amy, I love you for putting this together with your team. We can do this many more times. Solstice is coming. It will be New Year's Day on my birthday. So you guys have a great night. I'm going to hang around and still hear what everybody else has to say. But thanks again, you guys. Thank you.
For giving us guys hope, and Patricia's going to introduce our next guest.
Yes. Patricia's my grandmother. I am Priscilla.
Priscilla, excuse me.
But yes, thank you for those amazing and powerful words. Mr. Bobby, you always have great things to say. And to help us continue our prayers for our women and our activists out in Indian country and just in our country in general, we have our young friends, Jake and Dakota Jacome, from over in the Viejas area. Mesa Grande, I'm so sorry. These young men have been with us for numerous events, from our res beats at various colleges all the way through to our last summer solstice event that we did in June. Jake and Dakota, they're paving a road of leadership for peers his age and peers younger than him and even peers younger than both of them. They're so active and so present during these times, and we thank Jake and Dakota for continuously wanting to help us with these events. So we're going to see them live from Zoom right now.
Howka everyone. Hakame mi tumenue nya Jake Hakame. Napum Dakota Hakame, but he's off camera. Tukamuko Pai, hello, and good evening everyone. My name is Jake Hakame. Kumiyai from Mesa Grande, and tonight I come forward and I ask Creator, I pray tonight for all the youth leaders, and native and non-native, may you put someone in their path to help them. We know these times are hard for all of us. Some are suffering from depression, anxiety, sadness, loss of parent incomes, and some are also having suicidal thoughts. School is harder for most of us now. Creator, I ask that you lift us up and give us your blessings so that we all may flourish, and give us the strength for when we see someone struggling that we can lift them up. Creator, I also ask that you watch over those ones who are making those decisions with the drug and alcohol, and show them that that's not the way out. Creator, may you put someone in their path to help them out. Creator, there are as many uncles, aunties, leaders that can help them out because they know the struggle and they're willing to sit down and talk and mentor these youth. Creator, I ask tonight that you bless your people, and especially you help those youth, but also those leaders who are making those hard decisions as we speak tonight. And I'm going to be expressing some bird songs called To Cook. And to cook in our language means little bird. And these are our songs. You know, they're in our creation story. There's a song cycle of over 300 songs. And we sing from evening, we sing all day, all night. And yeah. So the first song I'm going to be singing is talking about the sun's going down and the coyotes here. A get up and dance song, and the moo. You know, the moo is the Orion's belt or the bighorn sheep. You know, and ask that they watch over us. I don't hold it my heart with family. 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 Family. I don't hold it my heart with 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 family. Family. I don't hold it my heart with 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 family. Family. I don't hold it my heart with family. I'm away from my well, I am away from my well. I'm away from my well, I am away from my well. I'm away from my well, I am away from my well. I'm away from my well, I am away from my well. I'm away from my well, I am away from my well. I'm away from my well, I am away from my well. I'm away from my well, I am away from my well. I'm away from my well, I am away from my well. My well, I am away from my well. Yeah, hi everyone. Thank you for listening. And I just want to introduce who I have with me. I have my little brother Dakota from Mesa Grande. I have my little cousin Justice Eagle from Sequan, and I have one of my teachers here with me, Jamie LeBrake from Sequan as well. And just want to say yeah, Khan, and thank you everyone. Yeah.
Great. Thank you for those songs, Jake and friends and family. I didn't catch all your guys' name, but thank you guys for sending your songs and your prayers to us tonight. Our next presenter is a person who tries to do more good in this world than he does bad. We'd like to introduce our talented friend, Mr. Paul Cannon.
Hello. Hauka Moyui. Pablo Winishi, San Pasqual Copai. My name is Paul. I'm from San Pasqual, Wapo Clan, Mountain King Saint Clan. I just want to say I'm honored to be here, sharing space. I'm grateful just to be here. Thank you for everyone sharing songs and good words and good medicine. I'm grateful to be here today. I'm grateful to be standing, to be breathing, and to be speaking, and to be able to sing. And to elaborate on Jake's point, I think we're experiencing one of the most difficult times in my lifetime as a country, as a people. I can relate through personal experience, just it's been like wave after wave. And I really do value, like what Bobby is saying, we have to lift each other up. We have to right? And Blue Eagle, we have to sharpen each other. Iron sharpens iron, and we need each other. And we're all part of that basket, and we're all weaving together, and we're all moving forward. So, with that being said, I'd like to share a few songs with you that touch my heart. That, you know, when I was falling on hard times, I was thinking about my family. I would sit and I'd pray in my room, and this song came to me. I was crying over my brother, and I wished for some kind of answer. And so I started playing my guitar, and I started seeing trees, and I saw grass, and I saw deer, and mountain lion and eagles, and they're all flying. It was a sunny day, and something said, I'll be there for you. I'm there for you. And I asked myself, who is that speaking? Is that God? Is that my conscience? Is that an animal or a tree? And it was everything. And I realized at that moment that we are all moving together with everything around us. And at times, and I can't always carry myself. Sometimes I get weak. And so I just want to share my heart with everybody that's watching. You're not alone. You're not going through stuff alone. And if you can make it through the night, there's a brighter day. And together we'll move forward. And that's what this song's about. So, yeah. Just like the redwood, we'll stay rooted in the dirt, live in the sunshine, letting go of all that hurt. We will find a new way, as bright as the noonday. And just like that eagle, I will always stick around. You are my equal. I will never be looking down. You are my best friend. You are my divinity. And I will be there for you when you are lost and scared. I will be there for you when there's no one there. I will be there for you when you are broken and torn like the river to the ocean. We'll keep moving forward, forward. Yes, we will. And just like the snakes in the grass, they'll pass, and all the pain will pass too. Nothing in this world will last except our love for you. Transcending energy, received by your beautiful being. I will be there for you when you are lost and scared. I will be there for you when there is no one there. be there for you. When you are broken and torn like a river to the ocean, we'll keep moving forward, 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 yes, you will.
Damn.
The second song I wrote, I think Standing Rock was just what's going on. I was thinking to myself, you know, you get lost in the media, you get lost in TV, you get lost in what other people say you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. But one thing you can always rely on is that this life is a gift. This is our gift that we get to share with each other. And we can love life no matter what, no matter who's in office, no matter what we did or didn't get. We can change all that. We can change the way we look at life. We can change the way we feel about life. We can change. There's so much inherited trauma. There's so much that's passed on to us that wasn't even ours to begin with. There's so many cycles, so many broken cycles taking place that it's our responsibility to step through that and to love this life. Where there's fire in the sky, lies to the eyes of our American people. We're high and compromised, with blood on the pavement, all in the water. There's poison in our food, and the soil getting harder. Where babies going hungry, mama's going missing. The earth has been speaking, well, maybe we should listen. With faith against evil, church and politician, but we are all equal, living in division, but we could love this life, love, 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 right, love, love. Hold on, mama tight, love, love. True love tonight, love life. I'm gonna love this life, love, love. I'm gonna love you right, love, love. I'm gonna choose to do it right. I'm gonna choose love tonight. I'm from a native reservation. I'm a symptom of a system, controlled segregation, with medicated victims and sacred intuition, neglected by invention. I'm using oral tradition as suicide prevention. Well, I turned from the steeple, I stood on the corner. There's power in my people, death before dishonor, with lack of intervention, deluded observation, pollution's never mentioned in white-collar conversations. But I'm gonna love this life, love, love. I'm gonna love it right, love, love. I'm gonna hold my mama tight, love, love. Choose love tonight, love, love. I'm gonna love this life, love, love. I'm gonna love your life, love, love. I'm gonna choose to do it right, love, love. We can all choose love tonight, love, life. Oh, yeah. We have so much to be grateful for. If you want more, be grateful. If you want less, complain about what you don't have. Energy goes where intention goes, where intention goes, energy flows. That's the saying. I got it. Took me a minute, but that's it. We can choose. We can choose to love our life. We can choose to love this life. We can choose to love each other. We can choose to love what we got while we got it and accept that we can get out of it. We can make changes. So love life. I'm going to do one more song for you, if that's okay. I'm going to do one more. This one, when my baby was born, I was looking in his eyes, and they look like little nebulas, little galaxies. And I was like, whoa, let's trip out. And then I started seeing myself, not only in his complexion, but seeing all the way through him. You know, in quantum physics, some physicists say if you go so far into the universe, you'll come back into your own consciousness. I was sitting there just thinking about that. What is this experience? What is this life we're all sharing together? We're all passing through, but we're all here together. What does it mean to have each other in our lives? What does it mean to have our family, our relatives? And so this song's about that, looking in each other's eyes, saying, Hauka, Yahan. I'm very happy to see your fire burning. And may it keep burning. I want to see that burning. I want to see mine burning. I want to see that reflection. We're all reflections of the Most High. This song is Your Eyes. From the root to the tree, from the land to the sea, they all tell our story. Inside you and me is the same energy from the whole universe throughout eternity. So put down your war paint, get off of your war horse. We ain't gotta fight for freedom. We will not fight that war. Your eyes, they tell the story of your numbers, all of His glory. Your eyes, they tell the story of your numbers, all of His glory. Well, when I light my sage, I chase spirits away. Oh, I fight. Lord knows I should pray. From my creations through my divisions, awake these nations with these illusions. Put down your war pain and get off of your horse. We ain't gotta fight for freedom. We will not fight their war. Your eyes, they tell the story. Oh, your numbers, all of His glory. Your eyes, they tell the story. Oh, your numbers, all of His glory. Oh, we found the fort. Oh, it wasn't right. It takes so much more to love and unite. To
love and unite. Well, your eyes, they tell my story of the universe, all of its glory. Your eyes, they tell my story of the universe, all before we could see. Stay well. Take care of yourself. Check in on your relatives. Check in on yourself. Check in with my heart. All my relations. No.
Thank you so much, Mr. Paul. We always enjoy your music. You make us smile. Just the joy that you have while you sing makes us feel joyful. And you touched my heart when you talk about us being able to have the ability to choose. And so when you were saying you want to see the fire burning in all our eyes, that made me think about another reason why we're here tonight, because we want to see the fire burning in all of our children's eyes. Before we got on the line tonight, we circled up as we always do, and we prayed that the leaders in our community would hear our prayers tonight and hear our voices, and that they would hear the needs of our children, because all of our children deserve to have fire in their eyes. Our children do not deserve to have the fire put out of their eyes while they're too young. And so, again, we pray that our leaders hear the needs of our young people, and that they listen to the needs of our young people, and that they hear our voices tonight, and that they hear the joy and feel the joy in Mr. Paul's songs and in everybody who's been with us so far tonight. And I thank you all so much. So thank you. Thank you, everybody who's been with us tonight. And up next, we are going to have our friend, Dr. Stan Rodriguez. Thank you so much, Dr. Stan, for being with us.
Okay, penya mati pecham. Stamunya chuhinya makupai wiskonan. Pe ehilikunya wait will you be nura nip YouTube. Nipumakanap. Buknachus mo yaw pe kuslawanya hamam henu. Nip COVID-19. Nipum ya waita mat pasho. Nipte. Buknachus mo yaw mat medya penya ti pe. Nishtawar. Nipum pil ma yung ya wait will you be. Your wait, your pum, your shen, a hint, your pum spear. Good evening, everyone. My name is Stan Rodriguez. I'm from the Santa Isabel Reservation, Santa Isabel Band of the Ipe Nation. And first of all, I just wanted to thank Amy and Esmeralda and all of you for putting this event together, hosting. And I want to also thank people who've gone before me. Jamie LeBrake, you've former council member on a number of occasions at Sequan. You've done some great things, many great things with the people as far as economic development, even more so with cultural, with the bringing back cultural knowledge, songs, being a proponent for all these things. And I just want to say, Yaya Khan, thank you for all that you do, along with the work that you've done with Kumiyai Community College and for Kumiyai Community College. Blue Eagle, another one. I just want to say Yaya Khan for, everything that you've brought, going up, And you know, I'll just say a little bit. You know, I've seen you going, you know, up on the mountain to fast, and you know the convictions that you have when you pick up that halma, that rattle, and you sing, and you hold that close to your heart, and you take that to everyone. You know, you're sharing our culture, and I just wanted to say, you know, you're also kuchu mayo. You know, you're teaching. Say from the bottom of my heart, yeah, Khan. And for the leaders at UCSD, University of California, San Diego, I want to. I just want to say it. I feel good when I see natives coming together to support each other, because these institutions, tertiary institutions, many times are not native friendly, and you know, coming together and you know, helping each other, supporting each other. And I heard you were talking about that you are leaders, and it reminds me of a story that I heard, and this is when I was young, and this was from a man who was the chief. This was in South Dakota, and he said a true leader is really your servant. He said a true chief is really the servant of the people. They make sure everyone is taken care of. He said a chief is usually the poorest person in the community, because if another family needs something, they make sure that they have it. If somebody, you know, their house burned down and they were coming to their home, then he gives them their house until they can build another one. So when I hear people talk about leaders, you know, there's two kinds. There's a kind who command respect because of the kind of person that they are. And then there's another kind who demand respect. And these are the ones that they need to learn more, because they've lost themselves in that. And I want you to remember those lessons that a medicine man told me: humble yourself before you get humbled. So I just wanted to share that. And I'm not just, you know, with you, but with everybody here, because this is important. As we come together, we grow. We're all leaders and we're all servants of our communities. Just wanted to share that with you. Bobby, thank you for the words. Thank you, you know, for the things that you do. You know, you come from a line of activists. Some of them are mutual relatives of ours. You know, when you talk about Stan, you know, your uncle, he's my cousin too. He was at Wounded Knee. We've had relatives go to Alcatraz. I went to DQ University when I was 17 in 1975, right after it was taken over. Been to Standing Rock, seen what's going on, the struggle that the people were going through, and also to the wall. And, you know, it's not easy to do those. And Jamie, you were there. Blue Eagle, you were there. A number of you were there. You know, and, you know, it's, you know, people who really care about the community and the people. You know, this is an important thing. And it's not easy to stand up and speak for your convictions. And I'm talking to all of you. But you know what? It's important for you to do it. There's an organization called Tipehua, who, and many here are members of Tipehua. It's a group of natives from both the United States side and from the Mexican side, working together for the purpose of social justice, helping others. And you know, you know, many times it's not an easy thing to do. They say it's not easy to be an Indian. Well, you know what? I remember there was a man. He passed away. He was from Rincon. His name was Sturman McCormick. He said that our way is not an easy way, but what it brings is it brings happiness to our people. So I just want to say that. So thank you for your words, Bobby. And Paul, you know what? I mean, well, let me get to you first. Let me get to James, and I'll come to you. And Jake, thank you for your songs. I remember when you first starting. And look at the young man that you're becoming. I'm proud of you, and I'm proud of the things that you're doing. And you're learning how to do this correctly. You're learning about protocols. You're learning all these things. You're a very good singer, and you're continuing to grow. And it's important because one day you're going to be that elder. You're going to be teaching the younger ones. And these are the experiences that you will have when you're teaching them. And Paul, I just wanted to share, man, that every time I hear your songs, it touches my heart. It really does. You know, we say that when the Creator made the sun, that the Creator had the sun and the sun, and when flicked it into the sky, it left a half circle. And that was a piece that we have, that the Creator gave each and every one of us. We all have a piece of the, when we sing, when we do things like this, when we, that's the Creator coming out in the, and when you share these things, it's a big. So I see that with all of you. So I just wanted to share real quick that, we were talking about the solstice, and the solstice is coming up. And many of us would go on the 20th across the border into Mexico to La Ruma Rosa. And over there is a place, a site where at dawn, the light dagger comes on the dancer. It's been there for thousands and thousands of years. And it tells us something, because it's the longest night of the year, the shortest day. And when that light dagger hits the eyes, it lets us know that there is hope. And our people have struggled. Our people have survived. We are very resilient people. We have seen climate change before. All you have to do is go into the desert out by Ocotillo. It's desert out there, but there's fish traps on the side of the mountain. It talks about a time when it was filled with a lake. Our people did that. If you go to the west and you go and see, if you could scuba dive, you'd go into water, there's village sites that are in the Pacific Ocean. That speaks about how long that our people have been here, since time immemorial. And if we look at the sky and we look at the stars, the star system, they tell us that, we are not alone. All of creation is watching us, each and everything that we do. We are always connected. Sometimes our eyes are closed. So for all of you, I would say, learn to open your eyes. Learn to be present. Learn to be present with all. And for each and every one of you, last thing I want to say is the importance of our culture, our language, our songs, all that we are. Because we as Native people have tried to exterminate us. And just by what we're doing right now, that is resistance. Our forefathers, our ancestors have struggled to keep us who we are today. And it is important for us to continue that, to pass this knowledge, to teach our people. So I just wanted to share that with all of you, that as we say in Kumiyai, Chachayachan, I praise each and every one of you for everything that you do and for your struggles. And we come together, we're like a bundle of arrows. One arrow can break real easy, but you put a bundle together, we're unbreakable. So I want to share that with all of you. Have your solstice continue to grow. Mayacham mepsho, yapum asukum, yubum.
Wa pilek muyik ya ashtan. And again, everyone that joined us tonight, all the people on the line, everybody in the chat, I'm just so grateful and blessed to be part of this bundle of arrows. I could never tell you how it fills my heart with joy, and it helps me continue to resist, continue to be resilient. That word resilient, they tell us we're resilient, but for us natives, we say we're getting through, right? We're getting through like we've always gotten through. And we do that with the strength of our brothers and our sisters and our relatives. And, I just want to piggyback on or lift up what Mr. Stan said. I love humble yourself before you get humbled. I was telling my cousin here, it reminds me of, check yourself before you wreck yourself for the young people in the room. That's important. The leader being the poorest person in the village, I believe in that, you've got to be able to give and also lead by example and let others in the room, we always try to make space for our young people, especially in these where there's room for them to lead, and standing up for yourself. A lot of times when you stand up for yourself, you get called names. We've been called all kind of names, but we have to remember that it's important we do that, whether they call you a radical or an activist. We get accused of that a lot. Being told to look into the camera, but we've been told we're radicalizing the youth, and but we're like, yeah, we want them to be able to think for themselves. We need for them to know the truth at an early age. They don't need to wait till college to know their history or who they are. So thank you so much for that. And we are going to be closing here soon. Again, we thank you for staying with us. I do have some of my own closing thoughts I wanted to share with you all. I see some people on the line, but we are going to, we have Mr. Ivan Sam, who is our Dene relative. He will be doing our official closing. But before we let Mr. Ivan, or give Mr. Ivan the space, I'm just wanting to share with you all, I see on the line someone praying for the incoming government system of Joe Biden and his team. And of course, we do pray that his team understands their position and again thinks of the country as a whole and puts them first. We pray that they will look at Indian policies in a fair way, and consider our people and our place here as the original people of this land. We also pray for our schools and our teachers who make decisions for our children. The people, the administrators who we sometimes see as in positions of power, sometimes these positions can be perceived positions of power. That means that they are really just positions of authority, and we hold the power. So I put out prayers to our families and our parents to find the strength to come to our Title VI meetings, go to your school board meetings, show them that you hold the power, hold them accountable, have them make decisions. Don't ask them, demand that they make decisions in the best interests of your children for the ultimate goal of healing for our children and our families. We also want to, again, pray for our leadership, the leaders that you just saw on the line. Largely these people are not part of our elected council, although some were, and we recognize and honor that. But a lot of the people doing the work are doing this because it's the right thing to do. And so we ask that the leadership, pray for all leadership, and that they put the needs of their communities first, and especially the needs of our young people. So thank you for providing this space for me. And we're going to give space to our friend again, Mr. Ivan Sam, and we'll let him introduce himself. And then I would ask that you all stick around. I have a special gift, if you will, for our staff. And so please stick around for that. Mr. Ivan?
Okay, first and foremost, I just want to say hello and want to introduce myself. She Ivan Sam and Shiaki Onion Shlon Tohit Lini Bashichin. Kapahan Dashachedo, my Deshkizin Dashanella, Hurtado Nanchle. I introduced myself in Navajo, full blood Navajo from Arizona. a little community called Hunters Point. I have relatives out there in the community that maybe know me in that way, and we make relations through our clanship. It gives us an opportunity to make relations. You find out who your brothers and your sisters are, your aunties and uncles, and it's a way of making kinship. And I think for us to celebrate this winter solstice, it's a way of connection that we're able to make. So first and foremost, I want to thank Amy and Esmeralda and the rest of the crew with the Rincon Indian Education Center. I really appreciate all the work that you guys provide and just collaborating with you at all levels, working with the GONA and just being able to support one another in that way. So I just want to say thank you all, and then all the speakers as well, everyone that went ahead of me, and listening to some of the good mentors like Bobby Wallace and Stan and Jamie and just a few relatives out there, even my little nephew there, Jake, sharing some good words with us about what's going on within this time in life. We're sharing a lot of stories that are kind of affecting us right now, especially during this time of winter solstice. Winter solstice is considered a time for beginning of winter. It's the official time where the lowest part of the day comes. And during this time in the universe, there's things that are happening within the universe, especially here on Earth. We got animals and plants that are hibernating, they're resting, they're putting themselves, in a peaceful time of healing. And in the process of this is where a lot of our indigenous tribes are able to reconnect with our family and our loved ones as well. We're able to build this relationship of quietness and sharing stories. Some of us do the string games and also the hand games that are done inside the lodge, and also shoe games and different types of stuff that are going on like that to build that, kinship and reacquaint ourselves in that way. But those are considered sacred times too. It's a symbol of bonding, making that bonding and that connection with one another. And sometime along the way, we probably lost a lot of those connections as well. The significance of what we do on a regular day, we're able to reacquaint ourselves with relatives we haven't seen in a while. Moving back into the winter camps and sharing food and celebrating, during those times. So, those are the things that we celebrate right now for winter solstice. And then during this time, we're facing a lot of challenges too, especially in today's world with the pandemic that we're dealing with. The struggle that we're going through with COVID-19. It's happening around the world. It's affecting each and every one of us. My grandfather, my grandparents, they talked about these stories that, one of these days, these things are going to happen to us. He says there's a reason why we share these stories during these times. We share the creation stories over and over, and it's because of trial and error, trials and tribulations that we go through. It's a reminder that, our people have come a long ways, and it's a way of reminding us, there's a lot of no-nos going on in our life right now. We want to share those things too. We want to encourage our children to be able to listen to us, to be able to connect and sit down and sit still and listen is what the grandparents used to say. Pay attention. This is a time where you're supposed to be quiet. None of you guys don't know a whole lot, until you have lived life yourself. So, those things were shared with us from our grandparents like that. And my grandparents raised me too, that they were the ones that took that second chance to be parents again. They took me in and they took me to ceremonies, and we sat down and participated as well. Those were the good things that we seen in our times, my brother and myself. And then, being a part of ceremony, the significance of healing, being able to connect with relatives, being able to heal one another, sharing that empathy with one another, being able to have interdependency, to depend on one another. That's what Indian is all about. That's what Native people are supposed to be about. We're supposed to be interdependent with one another within the community. We're supposed to depend on one another. We're supposed to connect with one another, In today's society, we get caught up in this behavior where it's a learned behavior of machismo attitude. We're able to see these things happen in the community, this learned behavior of gossip and just a lot of things that happen out there that we, indigenous people get caught up with too. So, we have to be mindful of those situations like that. And then when it comes down to leadership, I know Stan was talking about good leaders are supposed to be people of servants. I know a lot of relatives out there that are leaders in that way. It is true, they're the ones that are considered one of the poorest out there too, They give up so much of their lives that, at some point in time in their life, they run out of things to give out. Some of those teachings that they carry, they carry a lot of good words, but sometimes, they forget about themselves too. And in the process of helping so many people, they have a tendency to lose themselves in the process as well. So one of the most important things in this process of helping one another as a leader is also to help yourself heal too. To be able to reach out to your relatives, your kinship, your folks, to be able to reach out for help. If you guys are not able to receive that support, go out and reach out to one another. Ask your children to help you. Ask your relatives to come out and support you. Those are the support system that we're supposed to have in the community. And the struggle is real out there. We're facing a lot of different challenges right now, especially with the pandemic. It's not just COVID-19 that we're dealing with. There's also substance abuse. There's also alcoholism. There's also domestic violence. A lot of these things were learned behaviors that were picked up from colonization. Our Indian and ancestors, our Native ancestors, didn't have that. There was no such thing as alcoholism until colonization came. So through that process, it's a learned behavior. We struggle with it. And then, of course, there's historical trauma, intergenerational trauma that we're dealing with, where it's a repeated behavior that we carry. We get consumed in this sickness of repeated behaviors. There has to be a stop to that cycle where we're going. We need to start educating ourselves. How can we help ourselves? Through the process. How can we support one another? We're considered, sovereignty. What does sovereignty really mean? Sovereignty is about taking it upon yourselves as Native people, as one tribe, to take on your own citizenship, to take on your own beliefs, to take on your own judicial system, to have a way of life for yourself. That's what sovereignty is all about. So when we're talking about leadership, we go back to our leaders. We have to hold those leaders accountable because they're in a position to have that leadership to go up and see those people at the higher level. There's a relationship that they have to carry with the government. They have to go to Washington. They have to talk with other people. And then they have to come back home and they have to deal with that connection with the people once again. So when it comes to that level, we have to encourage our leaders and we have to support them. We have to hold ceremony for them. We have to smudge them before they go away. And then when they return, we want to have ceremony for them too. So this is a way of honoring them, that we appreciate them in that way. Somewhere along the way, they're going to realize, my people love me. My children love me. They did something good for me before I left. And in return, I want to support them. I want them to be good and healthy and live well. And then when they come home, we want to honor them again for the good things that they represent. Those are the good things that we have to continue to carry on. Those are the reciprocity of our indigenous people we have to move forward with. A few days ago, I lost a little brother. My little brother passed away, and I'm still struggling with that right now. I'm holding it all together. My brother didn't die of COVID-19. It was the complications of substance abuse. You know, the complications of substance abuse, you know, it was too late for him to recover, for him to overcome. You know, his body got sick. A lot of people were dependent on him because he was always out there helping people. He was always helping people so much that he forgot about himself to help himself heal. He picked up a lot of people's trauma. He picked up a lot of people's struggle. That vicarious trauma is real. Vicarious trauma is experiencing trauma from another person, and then it becomes a part of your life too. Those are the processes that we have to heal as well as Native people. And I want each and every one of you to challenge your leaders too. I want you guys to talk to your people. I want you to talk to your leaders and talk about the pandemic of substance abuse as well. The struggle of alcoholism, the struggle of intergenerational trauma we're still trying to recover from. A lot of our children are becoming sick. And it's sad that my brother didn't live a long life. He died at such a young age. So those things are happening in this world today. Maybe some of you probably have relatives in your household that you are trying to help so much. Maybe some of you just kind of let go of them. But I challenge you guys to try to pick those people back up again. Let's try to pick them up. Let's try to talk to them in a good way. Try not to hurt them in a way of talking down on them. Encourage them. Don't put them on the spot, you know, carry them. Let's carry them under our arms. Because each and every one of us, we have to support one another in that way. And that's what this winter solstice is all about. It's about healing. This is a time of healing. This is a time of beginning. This is like a new year for us. When everything goes to sleep, animals hibernate, plants hibernate, because that new beginning is coming. We want to heal in that process when we move forward. When the springtime comes, when the sun comes up to that higher, up in the sky, we want to be able to move forward. We want to heal from this pandemic of COVID-19 as well. We want to continue to carry on with our children. We want to carry our elders. Our elders are the library. They're the ones that carry all the knowledge. They carry everything, the teachings. We need our elders. So I encourage you guys to take care of your people in that way, your elders and your leaders, your children, to challenge yourselves. In my situation, I still work as a volunteer. I still go to a lot of these meetings of Generation Red Road, Walbrighties. I still participate, and I don't get paid for these situations. I travel all the way up to Mission Viejo, and I do support for recovery treatment up there, and I encourage relatives up there as well. You know, those are the things that we're doing today. You know, and Generation Red Rose is a good program that's going to be coming around in this community as well. And I strongly encourage each and every one of you to open up your minds and be open to accepting those things that are going to happen pretty soon. We want to heal our people in that way. And lastly, I want to also share good news about one of our own Native people, Congresswoman Deb Haaland, for being recognized to take the lead for the U.S. Interior Secretary by the Biden administration. My brother Bobby Wallace, talking about, healing and healing the land and taking care of the land and everything. This is an opportunity for us to stand up as a people. Our relatives are ending up in these places where they're sitting in higher positions too. And that's because of prayer. Prayer is the one that's bringing us in. Prayer, Creator God is listening to us right now. Those are the good things that are happening like that. So I just want to say thank you all in that way. And I appreciate everyone for sharing their strong words of wisdom and strong encouragement during this winter solstice. And once again, this is going to be a time for me to heal too from losing my little brother as well. And I want to say thank you all for all my relatives that have reached out to me right now to be able to share their condolences and their prayers. And I just want to share a song with you all. If you guys could just follow along and just, maybe even close your eyes, meditate with this song. Take this time to really let yourself heal too. And it's also going to be a song for my little brother too. So I appreciate you all, and we're going to take care of that song. So if you guys could just go along with me. Oh. And Yana yo yana hawetana yo wano hene 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 yo ona habeke chatli to yana hawetana yo wano hene Ashante ye ye yana hawetana yo wano hene yana hawetana yo wano hene yana hawetana yo wano hene yo yana hawetana yo wano hene 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 yo ona hameke chatli to yana hawetana yo wano hene ashante ye ye yana hawetana yo wano hene yana hawetana yo wano hene yana hawetana yo wano hene yo. Father, Creator God, I ask that you be with each and every one of us tonight. I ask that you look out for each and every one of us on this path of healing and recovery during these hard times that we're dealing with. I ask that you be with each and every one of our relatives. We're facing a hardship right now that we're dealing with this pandemic, with COVID-19, the struggle that we're dealing with. It's just not just the COVID-19, but it's also substance abuse and alcoholism. I ask that you look out for each and every one of us in that way, going through this recovery process and this healing. I ask that you be with us. I ask that you touch each and every one of our relatives of spirit, guide them, give them strength, courage, wisdom, values to take care of one another. I ask that you be with all our children as well. Encourage them, listen to their prayers, the seventh generation, the young ones that are coming, the future. We borrow this land from our future generation. I ask that you allow us to continue to heal this land, allow us to continue to take care of our children in that way. I ask that you look out for our elders as well, our elderly, the people that carry all the knowledge and wisdom. I ask that you take it upon them too to be able to find their space once again in the circle, to be able to be empowered by our people. Let our children encourage our elders as well. Let them be able to teach once again. I ask that you continue to let those things happen again. The reciprocity of healing, the reciprocity of sharing knowledge and leadership. I ask that you also allow interdependency to be there within each and every one of the households that we have within our communities. I ask that you take care of all our relatives in Indian country, all our relatives that are foreign as well, across the oceans. From around the world, I ask that you let all our relatives heal in that way. Continue to be vigilant, wear their mask, wash their hands, isolate, quarantine, everything that is needed in that way. I ask that you guide them in that direction, encourage them to be good in that way. And once and foremost, I ask that you look out for my family as well as we continue to heal from losing our loved one. My brother returned back into that spirit world. He's going to be up there being able to share his blessings as well. I ask that you look out for all my loved ones like that. Look out for each and every one of us, my family, my relatives, my friends. I ask that you be with each and every one of them like that. Because so does in hollow left thought nigga caught the clit left. Put all the point cutting between the cut there and Junigo be nasi cut the left. Let us walk on this beauty path, this red road. Let us continue to heal. Put all be yat eho the lesh cut in your day. Put all Junigo be nasi cut the left. Junigo the habit could lean the left. The habit on loan the left. Put all yat eho the lesh cut in your day. Bless each and every one of us like that. Father, Creator God, Hurtado, Yateho, Hajonasli, Tole, Hajonasli, Aho. Thank you.
Oh, Mr. Ivan. I thank you so much for your good words and your spirit and your energy. We pray that Chamyungawish looks after your brother and your family during this time. I want very much to acknowledge your dedication and your strength to prayer, to our event, to our team, and to our healing for our people, that you were able to be here tonight, and we really appreciate you and your family. The fact that you were able to be here tonight is a testament to your family, and I know we spoke about this before, the strength that you learned from your mother that enables you to do this work, and so we honor your family for giving you that strength that allows us to benefit from your strength. And we thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Ivan. And before we go tonight, like I said, I hope you stick around. We're so grateful I know I haven't been able to see the chat, but I've been able to glance at it. Miss Callie's been monitoring it. We're praying for you, everyone in the chat. We will continue to pray for you after we get off the line. Our presenters are sticking around so we can continue to pray for you. Mr. Ivan did remind me of something, though I forgot. I wanted to say, when we were talking about the young people who are in the movements, our young people who are good examples for our other young people, our young people who are going to college, young people who are not going to college but leading clean lives, helping their brothers and sisters, going to jobs, those young people we want to honor and lift up. Those young people down in San Diego who are fighting for climate change, policy change, our Native and Indigenous people can be part of those actions as well. A lot of times our young people forget that the reservation land isn't our only land. Encinitas is our land, Valley Center is our land, San Marcos is our land, Temecula is our land. Those are all our lands. And so we need to get involved with those people down at Youth Will, down at the Climate Action Change, right? We need to be with the people in Sunrise Movement, right? Because they're fighting to take care of our land, and we need to be a part of that process. We can still be good stewards of our land, off the reservation. And we should be doing that. So I encourage the young people on the line or elders with young people in their families, nieces, nephews, encourage them to get involved in that good way. And I think the last thing that I want to say before I acknowledge our staff is that Mr. Ivan also said something about bringing our young people into the circle. A lot of times our young people who are on drugs think that they don't belong in the community. And I think that has to do with feeling shame. And we need to approach them without judgment because it's not their fault that they're the way they are, or that they got introduced to drugs, or that drugs were introduced into our society. And so we should not judge them and receive them with open arms. And that's why I love my cousin here, who's doing the work with our young people and doing it without judgment, because there should not be shame associated with substance use and misuse. And so we're going to leave in a good way tonight, if we could have those slides up. And to the people on the line, thank you for sticking around in letting us and being part of the honoring of this team here. You may have noticed that all of our presenters tonight were men. I don't know if Miss Bernice was on the line. She was in ceremony tonight, but the Honorable Chairwoman Bernice Pipa again was in ceremony, so she couldn't commit to the event, but she's a strong supporter of our work, and we're a strong supporter of her. So we hope to have her at the next Solstice. Keep telling me to look in the camera. But we know that Miss Bernice, the Honorable Chairwoman Bernice now, is doing really great work in her community, so we want to honor her. Miss Angela, our Honorable Chairwoman, Angela Elliott Santos, again, doing great work in her community. I was on a Zoom with her where she's talking about helping the young people in her school district, similar to the work we're doing, and then her work at the border. And if we could have our first group slide. Okay. Yeah. So again, I just wanted to, you see a lot of women here in these group photos. So I just wanted to take a few moments to not only honor the women on our team, but all the team. So if we can go to the next slide. These are two of our young people, Miss Priscilla and Mr. Anthony. Woo woo! They have been part of our team since they were in third grade. They are now sophomores in college. And if they want to jump in front of the camera, I won't be mad at them. They have been, again, working with us since third grade, and we're so excited. They give and give of their time, and we are so fortunate to have them. They run all our social media. Anything that we feel like we don't understand, we call on them, and they do it. And again, we love them so much. They're not wanting to jump in front of the camera. But, okay. Next. Here they come. We also have Miss Callie, who is a college student, and Miss Esmeralda's niece. That makes her my niece. And we have Miss Cassie from Pachanga, and we love them very much. Also a college student. Again, Miss Callie does all the IT stuff when Mr. Andy's not around, or most of it. She builds beautiful slides for the work we do at the Native and Indigenous Club and at the other school sites. And Miss Cassie helps us with our Res Beats events and our Solstice hours as well. And we love them very much and are glad they're part of our team. Thank you, guys. And Miss Kelly, you can jump in front of the camera too.
It's not on the camera right now. It's on the slide.
Okay.
Next slide.
Well, they'll all jump in afterwards. And this is Condor Visual Media Team. Woo woo! They're behind the cameras all the time. making sure everything's running smoothly. We're very blessed and grateful to have them as part of our team and our family. When I say team, I mean family. Just, again, can't say enough. We couldn't do this without them. They volunteer a lot of their time too, and of which we're very grateful. And we have our new team member, Harrison. That's right, Harrison. So, Harrison Whitecloud, thank you for joining our team and our family. And then our friends, again, I don't know if you're on the line, Miss Amra and Andrea, they support our work. They let us know what's happening in San Diego and the progressive movements down there. And we're very grateful to them for enlightening us and giving us the strength to know that, again, we have power. And we're so grateful for them, to them, for empowering us and making us feel like we are worthy. And we love you. And last but not least, my angel, Miss Esmeralda, whom I could not function without. And she makes everything possible. And I'm very grateful to her. She's my work wife or work husband, my best friend. And again, just very blessed to have her in my life. And thank her very much. And so I raise my hands to her and to all the people in this team, which I, again, wish you could see everyone. So I just wanted to thank them, and thank you so much for whoever's on the line for staying long enough to hear all about them. And for people who watch the recording, I just want you to know that these people are working day and night sometimes, day and night for your children, for our communities, and all the communities, like Blue Eagle and Stan. We all come from different reservations, but we're unified in the message. We're unified in the vision of healing for our people. It's not just about one reservation. It's about all the people. And for that, I'm grateful. Thank you. Thanks for being here. And if, again, the camera's on now if anybody wants to come by. And Mr. Robert, I don't know if you have closing words, but you're welcome.
I'm grateful to be here, and thank you for having me. And this team is awesome. I see you guys' work, and thank you guys for all that you do. Amy, thank you for having me, and I look forward to checking in with you guys from time to time.
Oh.
Oh.